Hello everyone, my name is Palm, and today we're going to be taking a look at the F-15C MSIP-2. So, the F-15C is a very unique plane, and I would argue that it is one of the best planes in the game. So, to start off, let me explain a few things. So first, you do not want to enter the main furball that's going to unfold at the center of the map. If you enter that furball, you're almost guaranteed to be hit by another missile and you will die. So instead, what I suggest doing is move around the map. You want to play around the furball and snipe the people that come out with your AMRAAMs. So what we're doing here is we're angling our TWS as far as it can go so we can still track our enemies. We want to know where they are and if they fire a missile at us so we can begin to defend. We're also moving around the outskirts of the map and identifying that a few targets are coming our way. So, as we go in, we're just going to keep doing this and keep moving around the edges of the map and trying to find flat terrain, as even though multipathing has been reduced, it's still not useless. And on a map like this, the most flat terrain is the most usable, which is why we use the water, because it decreases the chances of crashing. Now, we can identify that there are around 5 targets in our general area, 1 that's really far out and 4 that are close to us. We're going to be priming a missile, see if we can get a good shot off, but no angle presents itself. The only time you really want to use AMRAAMs in BVR is if you see someone that's at high altitude, they're coming close to you, and they're under 20 kilometers. You don't want to use them anywhere else during BVR, as otherwise it's just gonna end up missing. So here, we shoot the Su-27 SM with an AMRAAM, that's kill number 1. As he flies high in an attempt to defend, we fire another AMRAAM at the other Su-27. Doesn't seem to be tracking. We fire an AMRAAM at the F-15C, that's kill number 2. We fire another AMRAAM at the Su-27 after the F-16C, and that is our strategy. You want to come in and sneak attack, almost say, your opponents, because as soon as you go into the furball, you're dead, while you can come in from an angle on the side that they won't expect you. Now, we fire another AMRAAM at the Su-27, and we have a Mirage coming in through the distance, and a Gripen. We kill the Su-27, and that's going to be kill number 4. Now we notice a Gripen incoming, and so we're going to prime the AMRAAM, fire it. Unfortunately, he's too low, and multipathing gets the best of the missile, and we manage to gun him down. Now we notice a missile is being launched at us, so we immediately turn to Notch. And now we're also trying to use the terrain and stick low to the ground. We want to move away from the center as much as possible, as in the center we can still get sniped from any direction, and we have a team, so might as well use them. Now we notice more planes on the left, and I check behind me, and I also look at my RWR, and it seems clear. But as you'll see in a minute, that's very misleading. We fire a missile at the F-16C, and there was a Su-27 behind us. On to the next game. We follow the same tactic, and we angle our TWS to the left, and we make sure to go into the rough terrain that will make it so that way we cannot be seen by radar. We're able to track a lot of the team, the enemy team that is, and we can identify a few front targets and a few targets that are coming towards us. We're going to keep flying to the right, and we're going to keep using the flat terrain. Sinai is probably one of the best maps, I would argue, for the F-15, as it has pretty flat terrain, so you can use multipathing, and the terrain is also hilly, so AMRAAMs will not get the direct hit that they want on super flat terrain, or any other Fox 3 missile, not just AMRAAMs. We know that there's a few targets to our left, and we continue moving, and we notice a couple of guys that are high up in the sky, in orbit. And we also notice this F-15. He seems like a prime target. Fire an MRAM at him. We chaff flare. He goes up, makes that mistake, and that's kill number 1. Su-27 presents himself. Again, he goes up in an attempt to defend. He gets smited. Another Su-27. We decide to use AIM-9M as usually. If you fire an AIM-9M in the head-on, your opponents will not be expecting it. It's kill number 3. And you can get away with that as they might be chaffing instead of flaring. Another Su-27 presents himself, goes high, and that's another kill. Now that F-15, we're starting to worry that he might want to turn around and fire a missile at us. Turns out he does fire a missile at us. So we're going to go cold and move away from him, turn off our afterburner, and he gets smited by a teammate. So now we're going to be scanning for the last few targets that are left. That Su-27 is the guy we shot down earlier. And we notice an F-15 appear on the map. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and turn around, prime an MRAM and fire it at him because we still got plenty of missiles left. We proceed to do that. And as we fire, he's going to end up getting smited by a teammate. And the F-15 gets killed. Now we're just flying to the Su-27. We prime the missile, and we see a bunch of teammates close by. We see many other missiles being fired at him. Fortunately, that missile isn't tracking the Gripen. Seems to be heading to the Su-27 and does not connect. On to the next game. So, same tactic, as you need to use this strategy majority of the time. If you fly high, you're just going to end up getting BVR'd. We're still scanning the targets. RTWS seems to have lost sight, but not for too long. And it's just going to be a bit of this. In top tier games, they don't last that very long, so I need to extend the video. We proceed, we scan more targets, and we see if we can BVR some of them, but no, unfortunately not. They're too far away. And we keep scanning. Our TWS keep pointed. We see Gripen on the RWR. And now I'd like to take some time to talk about my loadout. So I run 6 AMRAMs, 2 AIM-9Ms. We see a target up high. Maybe we can BVR him, which we do. I would like to talk about my loadout. I run 1 drop tank. I carry about 60% fuel on the F-15C, as you don't want to carry too much fuel. I like to run half-half countermeasures, as a lot of the times you have just so many that it was going to last you the entire game. And it's much easier to drop both chaff and flare at the same time to have to keep switching. F-15 coming to us. We prime AMRAM, fire it at him. We start going low to the ground as Su-27 fires on us. We dodge him, discover a J-8F on the horizon. We fire an AMRAM at him, he goes high, gets a nice little crit. F-15 and Su-27 ignoring us. We're moving up, we see a plane up high, fire another missile at him. We see a J-11 behind us. We notice that he's firing R-73s at us, so we're going to properly flare them. And he fires another one. We're going to keep flaring him, and now he's too close where he can no longer fire missiles, and he's going to try to take the shot. So, reverse him, try to get the shot here, but my terrible aim. He tries to pull Cobra. We pull out air brake and throttle drop. Trying to prime the missile, but we're too close. He gets slammed by a teammate right before we get the shot. And we're going to still try to get that assist. Terrible aim again. And we notice another missile coming to us. So we begin chaff flaring, and we're starting to dive to the deck. We notice a little hill and we're going to try and use that terrain. We managed to successfully evade the missile, and we loop around. We notice a MiG-29, prime the missile, fire an AMRAAM at him, and he will not be dodging that. Now there's a few people across the map. There's one guy and a Gripen. Right over here, we're going to try and prime an AMRAAM to get him. Unfortunately, he successfully chaffs it. The missile loses lock, and we're going to prime our AIM-9Ms. Unfortunately, we're not going fast enough, so the missile is just going to run out of energy, and it will not be connecting with him. Now, nothing much really happens. He gets slammed by a teammate. We're going to fly across the map to the other Gripen, see if we can snag that kill. And that's it. He gets slammed by a teammate, and the game is over. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today about the F-15. Glad I was able to make this remastered video. And have a great day. Ciao, ciao.